popularity of the 6.5 Creedmoor, it's hard for any other rifle cartridge to get any attention. This year there was a new cartridge introduced by Winchester called the 350 Legend. Now I don't know how you can introduce a new cartridge and call it a legend unless maybe it's a legend in your own mind, but that doesn't take away from the fact that this cartridge does have a lot of viable use. The 350 Legend was intended for deer hunters in states that now allow straight wall cartridges like the 4570, 357 Magnum, 3855, 44 Magnum, and even the 444 Marlin. The cool thing about the 350 Legend that sets it apart from all of those other cartridges is that you can shoot it in an AR-15. It'll work in AR-15 magazines. So if you're a hunter in one of those states that now allows straight wall cartridges and you want to hunt with an AR-15, Winchester's new 350 Legend is the ideal cartridge to help you do that. I have a couple 350 Legend rifles here with me. They're both bolt actions. One's a Ruger and one's a Winchester, and they cost about the same. And I thought it would be pretty cool if we had a little shootout between those rifles to see which one might be best for you if you're interested in hunting with the new cartridge from Winchester, the 350 Legend. So let's take a closer look at these rifles here and see how they compare. The rifle here on top is a Winchester XPR SR. The rifle here on the bottom is a Ruger American Ranch rifle. Now, price-wise, the Winchester sells for about $620 and the Ruger sells for about $550. Now, those are retail prices. You could probably expect across-the-counter prices to be around $100 less. In the price category, the Ruger comes out on top. Now, another category that hunters are interested in is how much a rifle weighs, especially if you're going to be carrying a rifle a long ways. The Winchester weighs 6.75 pounds, that's without a rifle scope, and the Ruger weighs 6.1 pounds. So that's quite a bit lighter. Ruger comes out on top in the weight category. Barrel length is another thing that a lot of people look at when they're selecting a rifle. The Winchester has a 20-inch barrel, pretty common for a sporting rifle, but the Ruger has a 16.38-inch barrel, much shorter barrel. However, both of these rifles have threaded muzzles, so they're suppressor ready right out of the box. When you're talking about barrels, another aspect of a barrel that's important is the rifling twist rate, because that's how you stabilize bullets. Both of these rifles, the Winchester and the Ruger, have a 1 in 16 right-hand twist. Now, another aspect of rifles that's kind of similar to weight is overall length, or the size of the rifle. And this becomes critical, especially if you're hunting out of a shoot house with really tight quarters, or if you're hunting in the timber or really thick brush. This Winchester rifle is 40 inches long, about like any other standard sporting rifle. But the Ruger American Ranch rifle, is only 3 feet long, 36 inches. Now, a lot of hunters are concerned about how many rounds or how many cartridges the rifle will hold. Both of these rifles operate out of detachable magazines, but the Winchester rifle has a 3-round detachable magazine, and the Ruger has a 5-round detachable magazine. It actually uses AR-15 magazines. So when it comes to capacity, the Ruger has the edge. Now, a very important part of shooter rifle interface is the trigger. After all, the trigger is what allows you to send the shot downrange or shoot that deer. Both of these rifles have pretty good triggers. The trigger on the Winchester is non-adjustable, but it broke at about 3.5 pounds, and it's pretty darn crisp. The trigger on the Ruger American is adjustable, but out of the box, it was at 3.25 pounds. So out of the box, the Winchester has the advantage on the trigger, but the Ruger trigger is adjustable. Now, if you're a serious deer hunter, ballistics is always important to you, and you want to know the muzzle velocity of your cartridge. That's how you calculate how much drop it has downrange and where you want to sight it in at. And typically, the more velocity you got, the better you're going to be. Well, the Winchester, with its longer barrel, has a little higher velocity, about 2320 feet per second. The Ruger, even though it has a 4-inch shorter barrel, it's not that much slower. This deer season load from Winchester averaged 2270 feet per second. So there's only about 40, 50 feet per second difference between these two guns. Now, accuracy, or maybe better termed precision, is something that all deer hunters are concerned about with their rifles. And to compare these two rifles, we mounted 2 Swarovski scopes, almost identical Swarovski scopes, and we shot them from the bench at 100 yards, 5 shots, and we shot them fast, 5 shots within a minute. And the precision from these two rifles was pretty darn close. The Winchester averaged 1.36 inches, and the Ruger averaged 1.15 inches. Now, that may sound like the Ruger shot a lot better, but you got to remember, this is a maximum 200, 250 yard rifle, and at those distances, for all practical purposes, these rifles shoot almost the same. Shooting a rifle from a bench is a lot of fun. It's nice to see how small a groups you can shoot. But what really matters to a hunter is how a rifle handles in the field. And what we want to do with each of these rifles now is shoot them offhand, like you might be while you're out hunting. We got an 8-inch steel target up there. We're going to do some offhand shooting and see how these rifles really handle. Now this Winchester handled pretty darn good offhand, and I think some of that is because of this longer 20-inch barrel helps the rifle balance better between your hands. The trigger's nice, the bolt's smooth, and there's something else I want to show you that's pretty cool about this rifle. If you'll notice here, you have a thumb safety, forward is fire, and then the back is safe. But there's a little button in front of that. When the rifle is on safe, the bolt is locked, it won't open. But if you push this button, you can cycle the bolt and load the rifle while it's still on safe. Pretty neat feature. So this Ruger handles pretty darn nice. It's a really nimble rifle. Short, compact, comes up really quick, fast to get on target. Magazine release is easy to access right here with your trigger finger. Pops the magazine right out. Has a 2-position safety right here at the tang. Bolts smooth to work. All in all, it's a pretty neat rifle for deer hunting. So there you have it. 2 new rifles chambered for a new cartridge. No, it's not the 6.5 Creedmoor, but if you live in a state that now allows straight wall cartridges for deer hunting, this is 350 Legend is a solid cartridge out to 200, 250 yards, and it'll also work in an AR-15. Which one of these rifles do I like the best? Well, I really like the compactness and shortness and lightness of this Ruger Ranch rifle. And I also like the higher capacity and the adjustable trigger. But when it comes to a little more traditional hunting rifle, the Winchester balances a lot better, and I like the way how you can carry it here at the balance point where that extended magazine is not protruding out. So which one of these new rifles in 350 Legend should you get? Well, I think it depends a lot on how you hunt. If you're shooting out of a shoot house, like I said, really tight quarters, or you're hunting brush and country, this compact, lightweight Ruger American is probably the best bet, and it's got a little higher capacity. However, if you're more a traditional hunter and you like a rifle that balances a little better, I'd check out the Winchester. Either way, both of them are about the same price, and both of them shoot pretty darn well.